I'm Tom from Do-It-Yourself Home Automation, and this is a look at my Samsung Q80T 75-inch TV. This is a big TV. It's actually big enough that I have to kind of back up to get it into the frame here. I'm going to go into a wide angle so we can see it a little bit better. There's the TV, and you can see it's mounted here on my wall above my fireplace. And there's a lot of things I love about this TV. One of them is that it's very thin. So even though it's very large, 75-inch on the diagonal, the actual thickness of the screen is probably about maybe an inch, and then it tapers out a little bit in the back here. And that means that you can very readily mount it on the wall if you bring in a pro to do this. It weighs about 90 pounds, a little under 90 pounds, so that's heavy. Definitely going to have two people to lift it up, but given the size of this TV, I think that's a pretty reasonable weight, and it's easy enough to wall mount it. And believe it or not, it feels sort of compact and definitely sleek given the overall size of the screen. So basically, it's just one giant screen with very little extra space being consumed by the electronics. So that's really great. Another thing I love about it is just the fact that the picture is super, super clear. So it's a 4K TV, so it meets the kind of most modern standards. And that's great if you're consuming 4K content. So if you're streaming 4K, if you're watching content that's natively in 4K, but it also has built-in AI, which will upscale content that's not 4K and make it 4K. And it does that really intelligently and does it really well. So you actually get quite a lot of quality in the video, even if you're not using 4K. It's also got the high dynamic range. So if it's, again, native content that has that, you can see a very wide range of darknesses and lightnesses in the picture. So you get really deep blacks and you get really vibrant colors. And that looks great, but it also is able to use content that doesn't have that HDR element built in. So it's very versatile, and you won't notice a big change in the quality of the content, even if you're not looking at something that's 4K. And that's the advantage of using something like Samsung, where they just have really excellent image kind of algorithms built in, and it's able to upscale and process that lower quality content and make it into something that looks beautiful on this giant 4K screen. It's got all the standard inputs that you would expect. So you can see I've got HDMI cables going into the back here, but it's also a smart TV. So what I do, and what probably most people do, is connect it to their Wi-Fi, and then you can access, and we'll show this in a second, all of the different services, Netflix and Amazon Prime Video and Disney Plus and everything that you would want to add, as well as a bunch of different apps and things. You can get Hulu for live TV. I don't even have a cable subscription. I just do all of my content on here through streaming, and that's often the best way to get the highest quality content to view on the TV. Other things that I really loved about this, one of the reasons I chose this particular model is the fact that it has built-in speakers behind the screen, and it's got multiple speakers. So sometimes these TVs are a really beautiful picture, but they're kind of designed with the audio almost as an afterthought. And so in order to have good audio, you have to install a sound bar, which is another added device, and you have to find a way to mount it, and it doesn't look as sleek. With this, that's not the case. It has built-in speakers behind the screen, and Samsung's algorithms actually use those to project sound through the screen so that it feels like it's coming from different parts of the screen. And that's a really neat trick, and it means you don't have to invest in that extra sound bar or add the extra bulk. You can get really excellent quality audio just through the speakers built into the TV itself. And if you're used to a non-4K TV, or maybe one that's not as high quality, doesn't have the dynamic range as this, you'll be really blown away. I mean, when I started to watch television shows, you could read the names of the books on a shelf behind a character and see all these little elements to the set or elements to the picture that you wouldn't have noticed the first time around. Even if you're rewatching something like a movie that you've seen before, you'll notice stuff in the background just because it is so big and the quality is so high. Remotes, we've got this very simple remote, kind of minimal, which is great. You've just got this button here, which activates, in my case, it's Alexa. So it has Alexa built in. You can talk to your TV, ask to change channels, switch it on and off, change the volume, that kind of thing. We've got the sort of standard controls you would expect. We've got a different little trackpad here. volume and channel buttons, and then these built-in Netflix, Prime Video, and Samsung TV Plus. So you can easily just jump to that. And of course the power button. So let's go ahead and switch this on. Okay, so here we are. The TV is on. I pulled it up to YouTube just to demonstrate here, because that's something where I often watch a lot of content. We can navigate around in here very easily using the trackpad, and then you can pull up videos and play videos in here. You can also, again, go back to the main menu and select from any of the different services you'd expect on a smart TV. I'm going to walk right up to the screen here. It's you can see if I go close in, even if I'm really close up, it's such high resolution that you almost don't even see the pixels, even though I'm standing like right next to the TV now. And you can see this is the bar at the bottom of the screen. I've got some of my personal info up above, so I'm not going to show the whole screen here, but Samsung TV Plus, Netflix, Prime Video, Hulu, Apple TV, Disney Plus, YouTube, Vudu, I'm not sure what Vudu even is, Samsung Help. You can get your smart things, so your home automation, the internet, you can get Alexa. So there's all of these different services that you can access, again, through that smart TV interface. And that's really great because it makes it easy where if you don't have cable, like how I don't have cable, you can still access that and be able to get all the content that you want. Let's go back to looking at the whole screen. You can see the colors are just really vibrant. If we go close into one of these, you can see a little detail. This is probably not a 4K signal at the moment, but you can see that those tiny pixels in there yield a really high quality picture. So I just love this. I think it's been really helpful, really great to make that upgrade. I love that it's feels not bulky, even though it's big and it takes up most of my wall. It just feels like this sort of presence in the room, and when you switch it back off, it doesn't feel like it's overwhelming the space. And again, I think that's because it is very thin. It doesn't come out of the wall very far. It's not obtrusive. It's just this big square or big rectangle until you switch it on. I love that the audio is really excellent quality, and I especially love that with the picture you can see literally, the title of a book on the shelf behind the actor in your favorite show or movie. Smart features are a great thing to have too, and I love that I can save some money every month by not having to subscribe to a cable subscription, since I can stream everything. I don't have to plug a separate box into this. It's all just built in. Same deal again with audio. Don't have to plug anything else in. It's just one self-contained, really simple and easy to use package. So that's my Samsung 75-inch TV.